Alright, yo. Freaking gosh darn day 70 something. Do not remember. What I do remember is that it is flippin' back day. So, back. Love rows, love cable rows, love lap pull downs. All the basics. No point over complicating any of this shit too much, at least in terms of the training. You just go hard. You can do whatever kind of workout you like. 10-ish sets per body part. Boom. You're gonna be pumped. As long as you move some weight, you're gonna grow. So, feeling pretty hyped right now. Fucking excited to get in there. Think I'm gonna change it up this time. Usually I start with barbell rows, but I think I'm getting a little bit tired of them. Not like in general, but just like right now, I've been doing a lot of them. So I think I'll start off with some heavy ass hammer strength row. There's a hammer strength row machine. Obviously you'll see which one it is, but you know, you sit down, you grab them, whatever. I'm sure if you've been to a gym, you can imagine. But yeah, I'll probably sit there for a few sets, throw some weight around. That'll be like the, you know, opening starter movement. Because when you're rowing, you hit a pretty good portion of the back. You get your lats, traps, little rhomboids, whatever. Just the whole thing. And then I'll transition to some more cable stuff with pull downs, maybe some cable rows. Yeah. And shit, nothing else to say. So let's just get in there, goddammit. This machine is kind of stupid. What the fuck? Will that even stay on if I do reps? Whatever. This is not the equivalent of this many plates on like a barbell row. Not even in the slightest. But it does feel kind of fun to move, like quote unquote, move this much weight around. So I warmed up 2 plates, 4 plates, 6 plates. Now I'll just do a little set on each arm. I'll probably do 1 set single arm, then drop it to 6 plates and do some double arm stuff. And then again, to make it easier, I'm holding on to this higher handle. Because if you hold on to this lower one, it's closer to where it's rotating. And if you know anything about torque, that would make it harder. So really, I'm only going this heavy because I want to use this big handle and load up a ton of weight. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. You know, the beginning heavy lifts that you do for any body part, you know, in my opinion, it's not as important to get that like a really good squeeze, right? Like if you're squatting your max weight for 10 reps, you know, you're not focusing on the contraction of your quads, right? You're just trying to recruit as much fucking muscle fibers as possible to move the load that you're working with, right? So the fatigue that I feel from these heavy sets is more of like, I do the set, literally like can't get another rep or get close to that at least, rack it, and then I'm tired afterward. Like the beginning of the lift, you should really just be going for intense loading. And then obviously towards the end of the lift, when I'm doing pull downs, that's when I'm gonna be focusing on really squeezing and getting a crazy pump. So drop the weight to 6 plates. Let's just do some double arm. Really just try to fucking destroy the back. Oh, I've been getting some comments about the straps. Which ones are they, and why? So, in terms of which ones they are, it doesn't matter. Any straps that look like this, where it just has the loop, they're all the same. Like, there's no strap of this variety where you're like, whoa, this one's really nice. It's all the same shit. Just look up lifting straps, and if it looks like this, you're fine. Now the point is so that you can actually work your back rather than letting your forearms take over. Because, you know, you think about it like this, when you're doing a pull down, okay, throughout the whole movement, like if you just isolate your arm, right, you're bending your arm as if you're doing a curl in a sense. So if you're sitting here with no straps and you're really gripping the bar like hard as fuck, when you do your pull downs, you're gonna end up activating your forearms more than you would intend. Thus, your forearms might be taking a lot more load than your back. Maybe not a lot more, but a little. And then, you know, who's to say that your forearms don't do that before your back does, right? So, I'm a big fan of isolation training, right? I don't need to work my forearms by doing strapless back days. If I want bigger forearms, I'll just work my forearms directly on their own. And if I want to build my back, the only muscles I want firing are going to be in my back. So if I can take my forearms out of the equation with straps, guess what? That's what you should fucking do. So let's throw in some heavy pull downs. Oh. I like mag grips. That's these fancy little pull down handles. It's just a little way to change it up. It's whatever. Yeah. I'm gonna come back to rows. I'm just gonna do some single arm. Really try to squeeze it. Maybe 2 sets, maybe 3 sets. I'll go by feel. So let's just fucking hit it. Yay! Yeah. Oh, Jesus. I wasn't feeling those machine rows anymore. So instead, you know, rather than just stick to a workout plan that I came up in my mind before the lift and then do whatever I thought of regardless of how it feels, you know, I'm going to use my knowledge as an advanced lifter and say to myself, I don't really like how that feels. I don't think I'm really getting a great pump or really good activation. I'll try something else. Right? That's how you guys got to be. So instead, do at least one set of single arm pullovers. You face the cable, turn a little bit to the right, the left, and try to sheath a sword right into your hip. And if you do it like that, you should start to feel a little bit of lats, even if you don't have a good mind-muscle connection. I'm thinking 3 sets of something and then done. So first one's going to be a set of rows. What am I saying? Set of pull downs. Oh, I know. I'll tell you when to do it, but I know what I'm doing. Set of pull downs first. Yeah. Oh. I think a set of single arm cable rows will do me good. Every time I do these, I give the exact same explanation, but I like these more than like the dumbbell rows, because when you use dumbbells, you can really like launch it into the air, and then you got no tension at the top. All you do is like you give it a jerk, and then you just float the weight up, and then you catch it and you jerk it. But with the cables, you got constant tension throughout the movement. And if you're trying to get a pump, well, guess what? Perfect fucking scenario. All right. Thinking just a finisher with, light-ish lat pull downs. Really squeeze the fuck out of it. There's no point in having like an insanely complicated lift. The basics are the basics because they freaking work, Pull downs, rows, pullovers. That's it. There's no need to do any kind of. I can't even imagine what kind of lift people are doing for back. All I know is it would disappoint me. Like, just fucking go hard on the simple shit, I'm gonna set the stage for the goddamn pump check. There we go. So how's it looking through the shirt? Whew. Feels pretty fucking wide. That's a good sign. That shirt's gonna be a bitch to get back on because it's so fucking wet. But whatever. Ooh. No. That's pretty freaking wide, goddammit. Oh. All right. So yeah, nothing much else to say. You know, back day is probably my most straightforward lift out of them all. Just because all it is fucking pulling a lot of weight in a variety of manners. You know, rows, pull downs, pullovers. But Jesus, you know, certainly works. So I'm gonna try to fucking put this shirt on without ripping it. And then do some calves, get in the car. So if you're a beginner lifter, one thing that's kind of fun, you're definitely gonna want to wear oversized clothes, right? You're gonna want to get a hold of some extra larges, maybe even some 2 extra larges, right? Because it's fun to wear a shirt that used to be like big and baggy on you, and then now it's freaking skin tight, you know. I'll find a picture of me when I was younger in this shirt, because I've had this for a long time. Should be a pretty jarring difference. So I can finish up calves and then we can get out of here. Blah, 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 blah. I got a different kind of protein, and it tastes awful. So let's just slam this shake before I have enough time to think about it. The dextrose as well, you know the drill. Oh man. Yeah. Oh. So, as I'm sure you're aware, protein powder is going to be hit or miss. Hit or miss in terms of the taste, you know? Ugh. It's like, sometimes shit tastes good, you know? It's just like neutral flavor, whatever. Not too funky, not too weird. Oh. Sometimes tastes like freaking chemicals. Either way, I'm a huge protein powder advocate. I probably get a solid amount of protein from protein powder. You know, at the end of the day, it is fucking protein. I would not recommend only doing protein powder. Certainly not. You want to get a wide variety of amino acids from different protein sources. You know, meats, chickens, fish. I haven't had fish for a while, actually. I'd say, yeah, probably like beef, turkey. What else? Eggs. Big egg fan. I don't know. My diet gets a little bit more basic when I'm trying to gain weight, right? When I'm trying to bulk up. Because if you're trying to gain weight, you know, what's most important is not necessarily your choice of foods. It's just the bulk of foods that you can get into your freaking system, you know? So when I'm bulking, I'm just like, I'll just sit down with a little thing of peanut butter or something, slather it on some tortillas, just snack on that. You know, weigh the peanut butter before I eat out of it, and then weigh it at the end so I know how much I ate. Just like, pretty much force feeding. That's how this shit works. But when I'm dieting, you know, and you have a limited amount of calories for the day, that's when I'll sort of, what would the word be? Not summon, um, whatever. That's when I'll sort of embody my inner Ramsay. That's where I get a little bit more creative with my cooking, because I want to eat stuff that tastes good, not just eat stuff that's easy to eat a lot of. So I think I'm gonna stop at Cane's. It's been a while. Uh, Certainly a waste of money. I mean, if you're bulking, you're gonna want to just buy your food at the grocery store, of course, all in bulk, rice, whatever. But this is more of a tasty treat for myself after a back day. So I'll be back in a moment. There we go. Caniac acquired. So, like I was saying, if you're actually trying to bulk up, unless you're putting on excessive amounts of body fat, in which you're eating too much food for how much you can handle, then I don't mind eating what would be simply described as like dirty food, like dirty bulking sugars and sweets and fried foods and whatever. It's all fuel, man. So as long as you can allocate it efficiently and you train hard, you do your cardio, you're actually gaining muscle, you're not going to get too soft. And that's one thing too. If you're not training, if I did not lift any weights at all, and I just was as sedentary as the average dude, you walk around, you maybe you have to walk to class or something, then you just come home, sit at your desk all day. And I ate as much food as I've been eating for the past while. Dude, I'd be so fucking fat. But guess what? Used all that food as fuel for the training. Build some freaking lean tissue. That's a plus as well. So, speaking of that, in terms of bulking and cutting, people kind of get I wouldn't even call it a misconception. Like they have some logic, but what I see a lot is people stay the same in the gym all the time, right? I'm sure you've heard people say like, "Oh man, I don't know whether I should bulk or whether I should cut right now. It's gonna be summer soon. Maybe I should cut. I don't want to bulk. I'll maintain whatever." Come on, man. You're just gonna stay the same forever. I definitely think there's some legitimacy to like slowly putting on muscle over time. But again, I think there's also some legitimacy to doing like a proper bulk and then a dieting phase afterwards. So if you're making progress and you're eating all your protein and you're you look good, you're growing, hey man, don't change it up for me. You're good. But if you're just in limbo, you don't know what to do, whether or not you should cut or bulk, you got to really be able to just look at your situation. Let's say we'll just make it simple. If you're a beginner lifter, like you just started watching a bunch of dudes, whatever, your buddies are getting into the gym now, and you feel like you're maybe 20% body fat, like you got some pudge on you, or maybe like you got a little bit of excess. I wouldn't necessarily think that it's going to be a great move for you to just jump straight into a hardcore dieting phase, right? Like you're just going to get crazy depleted. Sure, you're going to get lean. And when I say dieting phase, I mean like not just dropping to maybe 12% body fat, like a healthy range. I'm saying like if you're a new lifter and you want to be like shredded, like get some ab veins or something like that, even though you're only going to be 150 pounds, it's like, come on, what are you doing? You got to build a baseline first. So the beginner lifter, he's got to start off with just a mass gaining phase. At least just by going into the gym, starting a workout routine, and making sure you eat your protein. Like you hit your 200 grams of protein per day or whatever that number ends up being. You're gonna gain muscle, right? But the last thing you want to do is just jump right into a cut when you've built no baseline, right? It's not cool. Why would you do that? So if you're just floating around, you don't know whether or not you should bulk or cut. Uh, you gotta, again, like I was saying, nobody wants to be bulked up during the summertime. So let me think, what month is it now? April? Yeah, shit. And if you don't want to be bulked in the summer, then, and you haven't started the bulk yet, you're screwed. You're screwed, man. For me, I time my bulks and cuts have been pretty much perfect, such that I'm bulking the first 4-ish months of the year, January up until actually a little longer than that, whatever. But I'll pretty much bulk during the wintertime. Then during the summer, that's when I'll be dieting, and then I'll bulk in the fall, and then I'll be lean again in the winter. So that's just a nice setup for me. I didn't necessarily plan it that way. It's just kind of how it ended up being. So, whatever. Now I'm just going in circles talking about this. But if you have weighed the same weight for the last year, something's wrong. Unless you're perfectly content with how you look, then hell yeah, man, you did it. You reached your goal. But if you want to gain muscle like every freaking lifter in the world, then maybe look at your training. Maybe try to go a little bit harder. Maybe try to sleep a little bit better. Maybe stop skipping the gym every so often. Maybe quit partying so much. That's definitely not going to help your gains. And maybe you should just add your freaking cardio in 30 minutes a day, like I know you're not flipping doing. You should. Totally should. I'm going to go home, eat these canes. This canes. Eat a little bit more food after that. Shower off. I'm going to bed, man. It's late. Actually, it's not late, but I'm glad that I'm saying it's late. It's only 10:30 right now. So, not so much of a deep intellectual talk in the car this time. But whatever. I'm freaking drained after that back day. So, I'll see you next time.